think it's about to do it. Try to reconnect.
Oh, do you want to get onto my Wi-Fi? Or good?
No, I think we're good. Hey, how's everyone doing? I'm here with Gigi.
Hi.
And we're going to have a little chat today. Hope everyone's having a good night. We're all having a good night here. We're at Yoga and Beyond in Wetherill Park, Gigi's studio, where she does many things and makes magic happen. Everyone, if you're there, just kind of comment and leave a comment and like the post. We'd love to hear what you think and what you say, and we'll do our best to get back to you in the comments section.
Yeah.
So, how are you, Gigi?
Yeah, good. Thank you for having me, Andrew.
Absolutely.
It's always a privilege to talk about what we love.
Absolutely. You're my first yoga teacher. I came here first of anywhere from
know
yoga.
that.
So
that's a privilege. I remember my first yoga teacher. It's so special.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you were inspired enough to keep going.
Yeah, well, I fell in love with yoga straight away.
Yeah, I was
straight away.
3 classes, and I decided I want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And you were just telling me that you were kind of born a teacher. You've always been...
Yeah, I've had it in my blood. Yeah, always wanting to share what I learn. Probably too could be a thing of being an extrovert as well, that you want to share.
Yeah.
But I hold a big responsibility, I think, on sharing everything I learn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Some of us have to learn to be some things, and some of us are born with it.
Yeah, we all have our gifts
we all
and
have
talents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, we're at Yoga and Beyond,
Yeah.
Wetherill Park. You teach yoga here. What else do you do with
Yeah,
yoga
well, I had to call it Yoga and Beyond because I knew I couldn't commit to just calling it yoga because there's so much more I do. So there's yoga, stretch therapy, and I've got a teacher who does quite a lot of Pilates stuff. But I do counselling, life coaching, cooking classes, kids yoga, stretch,
Yeah, you've got a big interest in nutrition as well.
Yeah, because what we eat, we'll be talking about what's really important for health, and we can't control a lot of things, like we can't control the pollution and the fluoride that's in the water, and we can't control a lot of things, but we can control what we choose to eat. And so I think nutrition is very important. So I studied as a nutritional therapist, and now I run cooking classes at my house, teaching people how to cook without gluten, without meat, without dairy, without sugar. Yeah.
Do you think diet is the number one action to take for health, to get it
I think
at the optimum level?
Yeah, I think...
I know it's like a complete picture.
Yeah, I'm very holistic. But if we had to narrow it down to one thing, and I'm reading a lot of stuff now about longevity and about gut health, and it really boils down to what we put in our mouth. And actually, the less we put in our mouth, the better. So I'm actually talking to people about doing some fasting. So the evidence is showing that the less we eat, the less calories we eat, the less often we eat, that the body creates stem cells, which make us live longer and healthier.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never fasted before, but I've always wanted to.
I will teach you.
But you'll teach me?
Yeah, there's a strategy, because you want to do it carefully. If you fast too quickly and you end up detoxing too quickly, you just feel crap, and then you won't want to do it again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so the longest I fasted is 5 days, but I fast every day for periods of time.
Okay, is that like intermittent fasting? Yeah.
I've been doing that
really
for
good.
about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
good stuff. Hey everyone, who's there? There's a few people on. Hopefully Gigi's friends are on as well.
My feed's not live. I don't know if they're looking in there, but
I tagged you on there, and I think hopefully a few of your friends are on there as well.
Yeah, they might be.
So I guess I'll ask a question. I've got a couple of questions
here.
here.
Sure. I'll just go with the flow.
So, was there a moment when your life kind of took a turn or shifted in a particular direction towards what you're doing now?
Yeah.
And tell us a bit about the past life and now what you...
Yeah, there was some gradual things. My dad died of heart disease, and he had heart attacks, quite a few heart attacks, and there's quite a few heart attacks in the family. And somehow, at quite a young age, I started to be very interested in vegetarianism. So I started being responsible for what I do I started realising that I had a responsibility. And somehow I grew up in the eastern suburbs, and I think stuff happens quicker there. So somehow I got access, this was before the internet, to knowledge about what we eat. So that started really a long time ago. But I've been mostly vegetarian now for at least 20 years. But I was always mindful, aware, as I learnt more knowledge, that I had to regulate myself with food and things like that. I was always interested in philosophy. So that was always gradual things. But probably the biggest thing, about 45, I started, all these things happened all at once. I started yoga about 43. I started yoga, I gave up smoking, and I found God pretty much the same couple of years.
Wow.
And
a trio of
with things.
Experiences,
Yeah. And then people started appearing that enabled me to study yoga and who led me greater in my spiritual path. And also in my better understanding of nutrition in the body. So, I knew that...
Did you reach like a threshold when you were 43? Did you reach a point when you were like, I need to do something?
Yeah, I had bad back.
Yeah.
I was quite stressed.
Yeah.
About life generally. And I was tired a lot. Yeah, so once I started yoga, actually, I started to sort of feel things can be done. Yeah, 3 classes, and I said to my husband, I have to become a yoga teacher to fix myself.
Wow.
It was literally, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, and I felt so calm. And my teacher was into all health stuff, and so it became a thing and all the teachers were.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I don't know, everyone says about yoga too, like, it just makes me feel so calm. Like, it feels so good every time I leave.
Well, I'm a counsellor as well. Well, I'll tell you what it is. I'm a counsellor as well, and what it does is it accesses the nervous system. And if we look at the chakras, so I used to think the chakras, I'm not into all that New Age stuff, but I'm doing all New Age stuff because a lot of it's got depth.
Yes.
Okay, so the chakras are real. They're where the acupuncture points finish in the body.
Yes. And
the yoga poses open all the chakras and undo blockages.
Yes.
Also, exercise is proven to access the nervous system. And so we calm the nervous system down by the way we breathe, the way we move, and the way we think. And yoga does all of that. Yeah.
And breathing is so important in yoga too.
Yeah, do you know there's more stuff written about breathing in yoga in the ancient texts than there is about the exercise poses.
That's interesting.
The mind and the breath were paramount, but we've taken it in the West, we've taken it as an exercise.
You know, it's funny, like I've been teaching yoga for a couple of months now, and I notice myself saying, you know, when you're breathing, I say, so just focus on your breath, and with every breath and exhale, you're kind of creating a connection between your mind and your body. Yeah. And I'm like, lately I've been thinking, why I have to reaffirm that there is a connection between the mind and the body. Like, it's so crazy that people have gone so far away from that they have to recognize a distinction that, there is a connection between your mind and your body.
They're not separate,
completely not separate.
And people have no idea that a lot of people don't even have any idea there is any connection, so that if they're constipated, they think it's got nothing to do with what they've done. Like,
yes.
You know, or if they get a pimple, they think it's got nothing to do with what they've done.
Oh, completely.
I know. And so we've got to wake that up again.
Yeah.
Because the ancients knew it all the time. It's only really the last 100 years we've lost that.
Yeah. And that's where it starts. Like, once you take ownership of your life and your choices in life, then you can empower yourself to create the life however you want. But when you start shifting blame out to this and that, you're disempowering yourself.
Well, in Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the first habit of highly effective people is that they're proactive. And so they're aware of, you know that word?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first habit is to be proactive and to take responsibility for what happens in your life.
Completely,
as much as you can. And, you know, the second habit is to live with the end in mind. So not pretending that the end's not going to come, that you're not going to be an old person. So you live your life now, and that's why I've got this really new passion now for looking into the research on longevity.
Yeah, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so it's not about living longer, although they're looking at, realistically, the cells have been tested to show that they can live for 120 years.
Amazing.
Yeah, and in the Bible, so you know how they say a fridge will live about 10, 15 years, and then you have to get a new fridge? So chemistry and science shows us that the cells in the human body are designed to live 120 years. So
Right.
when people live till 80, we think they live to a wonderful old age, but they've only lived 2/3 of their
Yes,
life. You see?
exactly. Yeah.
So I'm looking into the studies being done on that, and they're being done by people with PhDs and things. They're not just being done with, Joe Blow, who thinks it's a good idea to live a long time. But it's not about just living a long time. What we want is a long health span.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the good of a long lifespan if you're spending it in a nursing home?
Yes.
Yeah. So we want a long health span. So it's a long time that we enjoy good health, and good health includes being free from pain, not just free from illness, from still be able to see, to be able to drive, to be able to, yeah. And when you're looking at all the research about that, I can tell you it's about what we eat, what we think, how much sleep and rest we have, the quality of our relationships and our trust in God, faith. All these things prolong our health and can contribute to a longer health span. Yeah.
Absolutely, so important.
I hope to be interviewed again when I'm 100 and still talking like this, because I think we'll
Yeah.
have more. Well, I'm going to be 60 next year, so come on.
Doesn't she look great? 60 years old. Unbelievable.
Next year. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to getting older gracefully, so that I can show people. I've got the energy of a 5-year-old, and I know that because I can play 12 hours with my 5-year-old grandson, climb trees and do whatever he's doing, and not be dying.
Yeah. How important is that state of mind to you to be able to
So important.
to create the state within your mind and your body that you desire to?
Yeah, and
be
you've
able to
done
do?
all this study now with NLP, and I know you're doing some really good study on these topics. And I've hypnotized myself and brainwashed myself to tell myself that I'm healthy, I'm strong, I've got lots of energy, and I tell people and I tell myself, because that's who I want to be. And I talk about, I say I want to be there at my grandson's wedding, and I want to babysit his kids, so when his wife and him go to work, I can mind my great grandkids. And I have that vision. And when you have it, your choices will be that's living with the end in mind.
Absolutely.
That's what living with the end in mind is about. So when I choose to eat something, or I don't stay up late anymore. That is so bad for you.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I feel a little bit tired, I don't care if it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. As soon as I feel the body going, I'm tired, I go to bed. Yeah.
Right. That's a good one.
It's very important.
Yeah. And what do you do in the morning? Do you have, when you wake up, do you have a particular ritual you do to prepare for the day?
Yeah, so when I used to be a primary school, I've had a lot of careers. So I was in finance for 10 years. I was a primary school teacher for 15 years. And now I'm up to 13 years as a yoga teacher counsellor, and all the other bits and pieces have come over the years. So when I stopped teaching and having to get up to go to work, because I don't have to be out of the house till 9 o'clock most days, I gave myself the gift of not having to jump out of bed. So I turned off the alarms and everything. So waking up